In this tutorial, we'll be using the Labubu Have a Seat bag charm where she's sitting. We also have the Lion brand 24/7 cotton yarn. This one, it says to use a 4mm crochet hook, but here we'll be using a 3.5mm hook. We also have it in white, yellow, and black. We have fabric glue, a pair of scissors, eyes and nose, a darning needle, and stitch markers. The stitches we'll be using in this tutorial include the slip stitch, single crochet, double crochet, magic circle, double crochet, increase, increase, and a decrease. We're going to start by making 17 chains. We have our slip knot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Next, we're going to put our chain in a circle, so we're going to put our hook through the first chain on the other side. And then we're going to make a slip stitch. Then after our slip stitch, we're going to go into the next stitch and make a single crochet. That's our first single crochet. We're going to get our stitch marker as usual and put it into our first single crochet. Then we're going to move on to our second crochet, our third, and we're going to keep going around until we have 17 single crochets. We're on number 16, and then we have one more right in here for number 17, and now we're finished with our row. For row number 2, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 17 single crochets all the way around. Starting with our first single crochet, we're going to stick our stitch marker on there. And then we're going to continue to make single crochets all the way around. And then we're just going to finish off our stitches by weaving them through and then cutting the ends. And once we have all of our ends cut, we're going to move on to our next row. And for these miniature pant legs, we're going to have to make 2 of them because they're a pair of pants. Now that we're done with our first pant leg, we're going to flip it around because it looks better this way and it matches the rest of the stitches. We have our second pant leg, and this one we're going to turn it as well so that the stitches match each other. Now that we've finished both of the pant legs, we'll be using these top stitches to crochet them together. The bottom stitches of the legs can be aligned in any position. We're going to take our crochet hook and put it through one of the crochet stitches on one of the legs, and then through the crochet stitch on the other leg. We're going to make a loop on our yarn and then place it on our crochet hook. Then we're going to pull it through both of the stitches on the legs. We're going to make a slip stitch, and then we're going to go back into those same stitches and make a single crochet. Then we're going to go into the next 2 stitches and make another single crochet for our second one. Then into the next set of stitches to make our third single crochet. And now we should have 3 single crochets for the middle of our pants. Now we're going to make crochets around the pants. We're going to start with our left side leg. So we're going to make a single crochet. And here we're going to add our stitch marker so that we know that this is our first crochet going around the pants. Then we're going to make a second single crochet, third, and we're going to keep doing this until we get all the way around the pants. Crochet number 15 is going to be in that middle stitch. We're going to make a crochet there, and then 16 is going to be on the other leg, and then we're going to continue to make the single crochet all the way around. For stitch number 30, it's going to be in the middle stitch. And once we're done making this stitch, we're done with our first row for going around our pants. We're ready to move to the next row. We're going to start our row on our next leg, and we're going to start with a single crochet. We're going to put our stitch marker on that single crochet and move on to our second crochet in the next stitch. Then our third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and our seventh single crochet. Now we're going to start with a double crochet. We're going to yarn over and make our double crochet. We're going to put a stitch marker on here just so that we know we've started our double crochets. So that's our first double crochet, and then second, third, fourth. We're going to continue these double crochets until we have 16 of them. And now we're on our 16th double crochet, and we're going to go into single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, our 4th, 5th, 6th, and our 7th single crochet, and this also ends our row. We're going to do this same sequence another 3 times, so at the end we should have a total of 4. And now we're on our last crochet on our final row of a total of 4, and as you can see on the back, you can count the double crochet sections. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to continue with our next row. We're going to start our row with 4 single crochets. There's 1. We're going to put our stitch marker on our first crochet here. Then we have 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to make 9 chains. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 chains for our strap. Next, skip 3 chains. There's 1, 2, 3, and on this 4th chain we're going to do a slip stitch. Then 2, a chain, and now we're going to do 5 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And now we're going to do 2 double crochet decreases. We're going to yarn over, go through the outer loop on the first stitch, then the outer loop on the second stitch. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. And then yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. We're going to do another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. We're going to yarn over, go through the outer loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through the outer loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. And now we're going to do 5 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And then we're going down these stitches and we're going to make a slip stitch in that next stitch. And we're going to do 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to skip 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into this 4th stitch as a single crochet. Then we're going to do another and 1 last single crochet, a total of 3. And now we're ready to go on to the next row. We're going to start with 3 single crochets. There's 1. Let's put a stitch marker on there before we forget. 2, and then 3. But we're actually going to make another 9. So we're going to go up in our strap and make another 9 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. We're going to place our hook into the next open stitch, not this one down here, but this one on top here. So we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to go into making 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. And then we're going to do 3 double crochet decreases. There's 1, 2, and our third double crochet decrease. And then we're going to go into 3 double crochets on our last 3 stitches here. There's 1, 2, and then our third double crochet. And then we're going to go into a single crochet in our strap. There's 1. There's a total of 9 single crochets in the strap. There's number 2, number 3, and now we're on our 9th crochet on our strap, and we're going to attach it into the next stitch as a slip stitch. And then we're going to stop right here rather than go to the stitch marker. We're going to cut our yarn, pull it through, and then we're going to get our darning needle. We have our darning needle, and then we're going to skip a stitch, go into that stitch to make our little fake stitch, and then back into the back loop of our beginning stitch. And then we're just going to make sure that our fake stitch is the same size as the others, and it looks like it's blending in. So now I'm going to weave in the yarn to the stitches in the back. It's all kind of random. I'm sure there's a way to really weave them in, but I just kind of choose random stitches in the back. I like to choose around 3 of them. And then we're going to tuck that yarn in to see how our overalls look. We're going to remove our stitch marker, and it looks pretty good, so we'll just cut this yarn off. And now we've completed our cute little pink overalls, and all we have left to do is to add a little flower in the front. We're going to start with a magic circle. And then we're going to make 1 chain. Then we're going to put our hook through the circle, grab the yarn through the circle, and put it through this little loop like a slip stitch. And then we're going to do 2 chains. There's 1 and 2 chains. Then we're going to go back into the circle, grab the yarn through, pull it through this little loop like a slip stitch, and then make 2 chains. 1, 2. Again, through the loop, bring the yarn through the small little loop like a slip stitch, and then 2 chains. We'll have a total of 5 of these. Through the loop, bring the yarn through, and then through that small loop like a slip stitch. This is our final slip stitch, and then we're going to pull the loop up. And then we're going to cut our working yarn. Then we're going to pull the tip all the way through. And then we're going to get the tail of our magic circle and pull that so that all the petals come together. And as you can see, if you turn it around, it looks just like a flower. And now we're going to get our darning needle and put it on the end of the working yarn, and we're going to sew it through the stitch on the adjacent petal. And now you can clearly see the flower, and we're going to set it aside so that we can make the middle. For the middle, we're going to use the pink yarn. We're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to do 2 chains, 1 and 2 chains, and then we're going to pull the yarn through, and then we're going to tie the tail ends together. Let's try that again. Just tie the tail ends together so that the stitches are together. And then we're going to cut the tail, get the darning needle, put it through the 2 tails, and then put it through the middle of our flower. So we're going to tie the 2 tails together again of the middle so that it stays in place. And we want to do that a couple of times so it doesn't slip out. And now that we're done with the middle of our flower, we're going to cut off all of our loose ends, the tails. So even on the flower, since we're going to glue it on, we're just going to tie it one more time to make sure it doesn't come apart, and then cut the tails off. And now we're ready to glue on our flower. We have our flower and our overalls, and we're going to place the flower in the middle of our overalls. We're going to count those top stitches. There's 4. So we're going to put the top petal between the 2nd and 3rd stitch and just stick it on there. Looks like it's stuck on there. And now we're done with our overalls, and we'll see how it fits. Now that the overalls and the hoodie are completed, we're going to get our Labubu and try it on to see how they fit. We're going to start with the overalls first. I think the most challenging part is to get her feet into the overalls. Well, let's try it here. And now that we have her feet in, we're going to put on our overall shoulder straps, fix the feet a little bit more, and then we're going to pull the back up. Let's tuck in her tag first. Then we're going to pull the back of the pants up till it reaches the neck area. And now we're going to straighten up the top a little bit, and it looks like it's a good fit. Now we're going to get our hoodie, and we're going to fit it over the key ring as well as the ears. So this is all going to go into that top slot. And then we're going to pull it down over her head. Make sure that it's nice and centered. We're going to get our hoodie straps and then tie them together into a cute little bow. As cute as we can make it anyway. And once we have our bow nice and cute, take another look at the fit of everything. And now she looks super cute in her Hello Kitty hoodie and ready to hang out on a bag. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this tutorial. Please hit that thumbs up button to like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Have a wonderful day.